Regina told Aaron to come to her after fencing activity, and he, of course, said that he would obey the order. After that, the princess ordered the Maiduna to call Prince Theer. The situation was not convenient, because the prince was late. The girl tried to say something to make it a little more fun and later went to pick up her brother herself. At the moment when Regina came for Theer, he scolded the servants, who, seeing the princess, began to beg for help and mercy. Regina called out Una's name and wanted to know what was going on here. Una quickly replied that when she came here the situation had reached its climax. After that, the princess began to understand what was happening here and why she had to wait so long. As it turned out, all this was because two servants began to discuss the rumor that the prince had frozen his own mother. Regina didn't like it, to put it mildly, because no 10-year-old child should put up with such words. When the servants begged them for mercy, the words that they deserved to die because of what they had done came out of their mouths. The princess noticed this and ordered Theer to call his own knight. Jesse Tarahan is Theer's personal knight and he didn't have to wait long for his appearance. Regina also got angry with the knight for not taking the necessary measures, as it seemed to her. Of course, he apologized. The princess then ordered Selma to call the Imperial Guard. After that, Regina realized that she needed to make changes to her plans and not just prevent Theer from becoming a loser, but also make him have the skills to handle such situations on his own in the future. Of course, it might not be so important if Regina wasn't going to leave him in the future. When the princess finished her thoughts, Theer's servants and the knight were still begging Regina for mercy. She hinted at her brother and said that it is not her to ask for mercy. After that, she began to teach her brother, and at the end, she asked him the question, was he really late for fencing because of such trifles? Theer reacted by aggressively calling his sister a fool and letting her know that he was not afraid of her. Then he hid behind his knight, because he thought that he would protect him. The knight was afraid, and asked Theer to move away from him. Selma looked at all this and thought it best to forget everything they had seen. Then everything was resolved, and Jesse took Theer to fencing training. Even though he didn't want to, Selma decided to talk to Regina because she was afraid that bad rumors might spread. The princess was not frightened by this and explained to Selma that it was ideal to destroy old rumors with new ones. In addition, it is quite easy to destroy unconfirmed rumors. You just need to punish everyone who spreads them. Before Regina returned, rumors that Theer had killed their mother haunted him all his life. And then the moment came when the princess told Selma what gossip she wanted to spread, and she wanted to spread gossip about being a piece of shit. There was a purpose to this plan, as Regina knew that there were many people who wanted to see her on the throne. She wanted to convince them that she was worse than Theer and was counting on them all to choose him. After that, the events moved to the room where Regina planned a meeting with Aaron. If someone finds out about it, then the rumors will spread with the speed of light. Before Regina's return to the past, Aaron Vestine followed in the footsteps of Egil Vestine during the barbarians' offensive. He went to the eastern border to stop them and died there. After Aaron's death, the Duke and Duchess of Vestine also died. All this happened as if it had been planned. Regina thought about the fact that their family had been cursed before the year's coming-of-age ceremony. There was a moment when Regina shared a drink with Gisli Vestine and believed that she could become friends with him, and the next day, Gisli died at the hands of Herman Silvage. The princess decided that this time she would not let any of her people die. At that moment Sir Aaron arrived. He was not the best conversationalist, but Regina was not upset, and all because of his beauty. The princess told Aaron that she wanted to break off the engagement and needed him to be her lover. Aaron apologized, and after that Regina got confused and added the words, "not real." Then the guy asked what benefit he would get from this. She explained that she would become his shield from other suitors and so on, but it seemed that he was not very interested in it anyway. Regina decided to act decisively, even though she knew it might spoil Aaron's opinion of her. She got up and approached him and said it was an order. And here the events are abruptly transferred to the dialogue between Selma and Regina. The princess shared the idea that she should start a love and justice club for the earth. Even though the prince hasn't changed his bad behavior, Regina still wants to tease him. By the way, now she will be present at all his fencing activities. Then the princess began to think that it was worth changing the tool with which she would beat Thier. At this time Selma, convinced that there was no need to do anything like that. After that, Regina told Johan to control his expression at least a little, because everyone but Selma already knows Johan Drijf fell in love with Selma at first sight, and took his unrequited love to the grave 11 years apart. Selma returned to her parents' home after becoming a widow. It is not known whether Selma was deliberately ignoring it or simply not noticing, but until Regina's return in time, Johan's love was unrequited. The princess wanted to change this fate this time. Warm chats reached an interesting moment when we learn that Jessie, the Knight of the Year, is nicknamed Lady, and all because he was raised as a girl until the age of 5, because such are the traditions of his family there. They believed that if they lived disguised as the opposite sex, the good luck of the witches would pass them by, and Johan also said that he had heard that now Jessie is wary when he hears Regina's name. After these warm conversations, the events returned to the room where Aaron and Regina were. Regina explained that her order was to become her lover. Aaron asked if he could ask what the plan was. Regina quickly explained everything, answered some more questions that Aaron asked her, and he had no complaints until Regina remembered that they were just pretending. The princess decided to act quickly. She told Selma to send a letter to the Duchy of Silvage to find another partner for the year's coming-of-age ceremony, and told Una to send a letter to the Duchy of Vestin. The letter to the Vestine Duchy stated that Regina intended to visit their estate today. Selma was angry, because who sends a letter about a visit on the day of the visit, she asked the princess. She calmed her down and answered that this was the best way for the wretch to announce her arrival. And Regina's carriage is already on its way. She recalled that 2 tragedies had occurred last time at Thier's 11th birthday banquet. The first is that Thier got drunk and caused trouble, and other people suffered from his actions. And the second tragedy is an attempt on the emperor. Although the prince's terrible behavior is a problem, it's better that way, because when he became a loser before Regina's return, not only did he give away the imperial wealth where it shouldn't be, but he also gave the imperial seal to traitors, and although it was quickly returned, but it was already too late. Regina would really hate to go through that again. Because of this, she wanted to make sure that no one would be poisoned this time, and even if they were, she now knew the recipe for the antidote. The main ingredient is fresh dandelion flowers, which, by coincidence, Duchess Vestine grew in her garden. Long story short, Regina's plans for this visit were to get hold of dandelion's flowers and revisit her plans with Sir Aaron. And then the carriage of the princess arrived. She was met by the eldest son of the Vestine family named Gisli. Regina had good manners. The next events took place at the estate, when they were discussing receiving the dandelion flower, and then Regina saw Aaron. She was delighted. Afterwards, Regina and Aaron went to the flower garden. This was the garden of Barbara Vestine, the most beautiful woman in the empire, the so-called Rose of the Empire. When they reached the garden, the princess was very pleasantly surprised. The Duchess did this garden until she went to the hospital, but luckily she is feeling much better now. As they are seen discussing the details of Regina's plan, the princess reveals that the events will take place on Thier's birthday and Aaron will be introduced as her partner. After Thier's dance with Ali's daughter, Aaron invites Regina to the dance. All people will be interested when they see that the princess is dancing not with her fiancé, but with the second son of the Vestine family. This will greatly shake Herman's pride. In addition, at the same time, Regina is going to announce the breakup of the engagement. At the moment when the princess was emotionally talking about the plan, she got caught and started to fall, but Aaron tried to catch her. But as it turned out, not very successfully. They found themselves in a not very convenient position. Regina's heart was in danger at this moment. But still they returned to where they left off and continued the conversation. It is not clear why, but the princess noticed that Aaron for some reason began to make her nervous. But still, she is glad that this life is very different from her past. Without waiting for the servants, they began to dig the flowers with their own hands, well, like them Aaron dug. After that, the events are transferred to the conversation between Aaron and Gisli. They talked about Aaron's partner at Thier's birthday party. Although the younger brother did not say exactly who his partner would be, he still guessed. Then they talked a little about her. Aaron concluded that it was better to keep his distance with her anyway, so that it wouldn't turn into a love story. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like it and write about it in the comments.